Ramble.
Pretty basic.
Hi guys, welcome back to Pretty Basic. Today we are joined with the one and only, I feel like my little sister on YouTube. Do you feel that too? She says no.
Sister or like daughter.
Oh, daughter.
I get mother figures from both of you.
Love that. We are here with the one and only Ava Jules.
Guys, this feels like a fever dream. First of all, sitting in the studio with you guys and also like seeing your human forms. So thank you for having me.
Human forms. Thank you for being here.
What's it like? Because, guys, we've just met today.
Yes.
Like, the internet's weird. Like, we just met today, and we're sitting down, and we're going to talk about anything and everything. But, like, we know each other.
Yes. Literally, Alicia and I were talking, and I was like, oh, I'm letting on that I know a little too much about her for having
Like, how's your dog? How was that appointment you had to go to? Wait, don't you have a nail appointment tomorrow?
I saw that Chloe had like an ingrown nail. What's she doing? What's going on?
Exactly. But I don't know. I'm so excited to be here and like chat.
Oh my God, amazing. Well, we are really excited to get into it. If you're not following Ava, definitely do it. Ava Jules on everything.
Yes.
She's got 2 channels just like us.
The second one's kind of dead right now.
Oh.
So more focus on the first one.
Okay, she has 1 channel.
But yes.
Go follow it. Go watch it.
Yeah, let's revive it. Maybe I'll do it. Oh, we'll see.
Sounds good. Okay, so with all of our guests, we like to do a couple different icebreakers.
Throw them at me, queens.
First one, what was your first impression of us?
Okay, even before you asked me to be on this podcast, every time I would listen to like guest answers, I've prepared for this.
Oh my God.
Stop.
I was like, oh,
Stop.
I'm
You're
never
in your,
going to
like,
be on
mirror.
there, but I must have like an answer in case I am. Here we are.
And
so
now
You
here we are.
manifested that.
I've manifested it. Here I am. I won the sweepstakes to be on Pretty Basic. Okay, Remy, I'll start with you.
Okay.
My first impression of you, we did that brand shoot together, which was
Yes.
4 days.
Yes.
Originally, I wasn't supposed to be on that brand shoot. I was supposed to be on the other one that filmed in Chicago.
No way.
Not LA. But then I got a concussion. So I think
said-
Wait, you didn't
Thank
bring this
God.
up on set. How did you get a
I was
concussion?
playing bumper cars
Oh, no.
at like fair. I got concussed, couldn't go. So then they put me on the LA shoot.
Oh
so
my
I think it was
God.
meant to be because I don't know if I would have met either of you otherwise.
No.
Maybe just like in passing, but not like that.
Yes.
So my first impression of you was
Oh, no.
you being horrified of heights.
Oh, yes, yes.
We had to do this thing where we climbed up probably like 40 feet in the air. We're on
Did
like
you
this
watch it?
tightrope.
I didn't, but I remember it was very camp vibes, correct? It was like a lot of activities.
Not serving camp, summer camp.
Yes.
It was-
Definitely summer camp
But okay,
vibes.
here's the thing. Before we went on that shoot, it was like a Hollister shoot, and we had to wear all the Hollister clothes and everything. It was a really fun time. But we filled out this like paperwork beforehand that was like, what are your biggest fears? What would you never eat? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. They're looking out for us. No, they were taking them and making us do them. What was it called?
Carpe diem,
Yes.
seize the day.
Seize the day.
Yes.
And so I put heights. That's the only thing in this world that I'm scared of is heights. And then they
so crazy.
first fucking day make us go to this camp area and then pair us up together. Even worse, they put me, because we would wear Hollister clothes, in a gray shirt. Do you know what clothes show sweat the most? I learned that day, gray. I'm wearing a gray t-shirt.
A light gray.
And they didn't edit
Honey,
it out.
it was dark
They
gray.
didn't. There's just big, I'm not kidding. Go watch it right now. Go give them a view. Huge puddles under my armpit. I am shaking.
From my point of view, well, the shirt was dark gray after.
It was literally
dark gray.
drenched.
I'm not scared of heights. Like, I'm okay with them. But that was like a different story because we were literally on a tightrope. And I was like, I can't freak out because I need Remy to like me. Like, I have to save her. You were horrified.
Oh.
And to see like any grown adult horrified of something is always just like such a funny experience because you're like, oh my God, you're like also scared of things. And I was like, okay, I have to save her. I need to like lead the
Are
way.
you scared too?
Oh, I was horrified.
You did so well.
It was, oh, thank you.
You did.
I had to pull through. I was like, I need to make a lasting impression. I need to save her life. And that's what I did.
Oh, you did after?
So
I was
that
like,
was-
I'm going to be best friends with this girl.
Yes.
She
was so
texted
nice.
me on the shoot and was like, I love Ava Jules. We're going to be best friends.
It was like they made us climb up these crazy poles. It was like, I want to say 100 feet. It was really high, right?
Like 50.
I'm a dramatic
Like,
queen.
it was 200 feet.
It was on a skyscraper.
1,000 feet. They dropped us off of a plane. We like climb up these wood logs. There's a tightrope. They were kind of, I think they were parallel, right? No, it was just one. Because there was one, and we, parallel.com, check it out. We started on each end, and we had to go across and then cross each other on the one.
Oh my
And
God.
I was
Yeah, you were so scared. I felt so bad. Anyways, kind of to segue the story.
Yeah, so sorry.
First impression, you were scared, but like genuinely, I remember telling my mom, I was like, we were both freaking out because my mom watches like both of you. So she's freaking about this moment.
Hi, Mama Jewel.
We love.
And I just remember you were sitting at the table with your filmer, Eli, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, do I approach them? And then I think we struck a really good conversation. I was definitely extremely nervous.
Aww.
But I was like, this is just crazy.
That's
So that was my
so
first
funny.
impression of you. I was like intimidated, but excited to meet you. Alicia. I have a very funny story of my first impression of you.
Oh my God.
Because no one knows it. And neither do you.
Did we meet?
No, we didn't. We didn't.
I was about to be like, have we met before?
Did she correct you on how many subscribers she has?
Okay, so it was VidCon maybe 2018 or 2019. I think I just graduated, so it was probably 2019. You know that hotel we stayed at? It had windows like looking into the lobby.
Oh,
Yes.
Hilton.
So all day, like the first day I got there, I was looking out the window, like looking for
2019,
people.
so like not
Yes.
oh my God. Okay.
So not COVID, like everything was
Yes.
normal. I remember I was in the room with Hannah Maloche, and we were both just like looking around, blah, blah, blah. I see you walking through the front doors, and I go, that's Alicia Marie. And I don't know where you're going. You looked like you're on a mission, but I was like, do I run downstairs? Like, that's creepy energy. That fan energy is fine. But like, I was like, I can't. I got to be calm, cool, and collected. So I just watched you walk, and I was like, oh my God, there she goes. I don't know where she's going. I don't know if I'm going to see her again.
Really, really late. Because that's usually what happens. My manager's like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm coming.
And then I text my mom, and I'm like, I just saw Alicia Marie. And she was like, did you say hi? And I was like, no. And then she was
You're like, well, kind of, but it was far.
Yeah.
I waved.
I just remember like looking down the windows and being like, starstruck.
Oh my God.
That is so funny.
VidCon play like all of
Yeah.
those things are so weird because it feels like a high school reunion.
Yes.
Where you're like see people you know and you're like, wait, we don't know each other, but you're like, oh my
But then
God,
you don't want to be
that's
too like fangirly in case they get freaked out, but then also you want to fangirl.
Right.
that's hilarious.
I get it.
Yeah.
I really wonder where I was going.
I'm like, actually, no.
You're like, actually, it was for your panel. 2019, I only stayed for like one night. I got in late one night and then woke up, did whatever I had to do, and then left. Like I didn't stay the whole time.
VidCon is like a lot. Do you love VidCon?
The first year I did, just because
It's so-
it's
it's like
brand new,
Disneyland,
and
yeah.
you're like, oh my God, there's all these like famous people
Yes.
I've watched since I was however old.
Yeah.
And you freak out, but then I feel like once you start going more, you're like, I don't want to be.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Especially like it's fun meeting viewers and stuff, but interacting with people from your space can be very overwhelming.
Oh my
Yes.
God. The
Oh,
first
yeah.
few years, I feel like it was so much more fun for us because we were just like, oh my God, who are you going to see? And then as the years go on, it's like, who am I going to see?
Yes, exactly.
Now you have more
Exactly.
anxiety about thinking of who you're going to run into or like whatever.
It's
and
like why I don't go to Target in my hometown.
Yes.
I'm like,
You're like, I know them.
Can't
I know
take a chance on that one
them.
today. Okay, well, next question. What is your go-to drink?
A Shirley Temple. Oh my God.
I do love a Shirley
I
Temple.
will die for a Shirley Temple. Like one with more grenadine than like the soda. Grenadine's
Yes.
the strawberry stuff or the cherry
I
stuff.
have no idea, but I
Pomegranate
assumed.
stuff, yeah.
So
It's
good.
Oh my God.
Especially with like maraschino cherries.
yes.
So
Extra
good.
cherries.
I have this aunt who loves to like drink alcohol, and we were at a very nice restaurant where they probably wouldn't have like ID'd me just because it was very expensive, and she was like, order whatever you want, like get whatever drinks, and I was like, okay. I get a Shirley Temple, and she goes, that's your drink of choice. And I was like, it will be my drink of choice whether I'm legal or not. So.
Oh yeah.
I
went
love
to dinner with
that.
my brother. He's like 24 and he got a Shirley Temple last night.
I
One
feel
and
like
the
you
same.
forget about them.
No, they're
until
so
you have one. And they're
underrated.
so good.
So underrated.
Yeah.
Okay, well, for anyone who's listening who doesn't know you, can you give us a little backstory about how you got into YouTube or how you even just grew your channel? Because I feel like you are in this amazing little pocket of Hawaii, like in your own little bubble, thriving every single day, like doing your workouts, getting your smoothies, organizing your room. Like we're both obsessed with your vlogs and your videos. And I feel like there's a lot of pros to that because you're in your own bubble and you can kind of just focus on yourself. But then I'm sure there's a lot of times you kind of feel isolated and you want to feel like you need to come out here. And like, how has it just been growing your whole career out of this?
I started on YouTube because I was obsessed with Justin Bieber. There's a channel, you can look it up if you want. It's Ava Bieber XO.
Oh,
there's
it's
one
still
video.
up.
Wait,
And it's a
please,
Belieber room
please
tour.
make merch that says Ava Bieber XO.
You
Wait.
were a believe.
Like, are you
Wait,
trying to
you're
take a cut?
No, all you girl, take it, take it.
So I started off as that, making whatever, like, these are my Justin Bieber t-shirts videos. There was a whole community
Oh,
of
I bet.
believers. So that was like my corner of the internet. I I had a fan page of like 8K
Oh,
followers on
shit.
Instagram, which was a lot.
Wait, I have
Yes.
believer questions. We need to back it up. What triggered the love for Bieber? Like, what moment? What song? What was it? The movie? What was it?
I think it was when he was in his 2012 phase, probably his like cutest / hottest whatever phase
Which
of like
album was
Bieber
this?
with like the side fade and like
Oh,
when he looked like that, I was like,
Beauty and the Beast. Is that what the song's called? Beauty and a Beat. Yeah, got to keep an eye out for Selena. That
I
era.
was so upset at every girl he did music videos with. I was like, that should be me.
I
Me at
saw him
13.
You kind of
live,
look like Jasmine. Is that her name? The one from the Baby music video. You know, the one that he dated. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, I went to
been
this
me.
New Year's Rockin' Eve like pre-shooting recording, but they recorded the Hollywood scenes like a month or two early.
Oh,
So I went with my cheer team for a fundraiser because we needed to go and they needed an audience or whatever. So we like get dressed up. It's like end of November or something, and Justin Bieber was performing, and it was that era. And I remember
Wow.
I let myself fangirl, and you know that's a big deal. Like I literally, I'm looking around, and all these girls are like screaming and like putting their arms out, and I was like. Like I let myself scream and like be like touch my hand.
It's okay for you to have done that because you were probably like his age. I was literally 12, like just being like,
no, that's
No, I
normal.
feel like it's
I was like, oh, he wants me.
You know, when you daydream about them like picking you out of the crowd as if they're gonna fall madly
You wanted
in
to
love
be
with
the
you.
one less lonely girl.
My heart is like beating fast right now thinking about this. I'm like,
Do you
I
still love
love
him
him.
right
gosh,
now?
like yes, but not.
Yeah,
You know,
as
I'm not.
much.
I'm not an active like fan.
So the
member
fan
anymore.
page is inactive.
Yes.
Okay.
It's inactive. I don't know if it still exists.
Ava Belieber is also inactive.
Inactive, but like the videos exist.
It's dormant.
Anyways.
She might erupt
I
any moment.
can't wait to watch it.
So I have 3 channels actually.
Oh, but
Anyways, I started off there, and then I found literally you guys on the internet, like the beauty community, both of you.
so addicting, right?
Yes,
Like you
like-
become obsessed with it.
Bethany Moda, Amanda
Yes.
Steele, like everyone, and I was like, I want to do this. I have
my
a calling
God.
to be a beauty guru. There was no calling. I just was like, I want to live like them. I want to look like them. Because, you know, back then it was like everyone just looked perfect. And
Also, I feel like around then, I don't know. I feel like the time when that beauty community, like Bethany Moda, really took off, a lot of people were wanting that and craving that. Just like, I feel like I wasn't getting that from other shows or movies, or like you would for a second, but then the movie's done, and then you're like, oh, let me watch it again.
right. I mean,
you
you
know
feel
what
a connection.
that connection.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're like real humans, quote unquote. They're not like
Totally.
an actor playing a
Yeah.
part. So I found that side of YouTube, started Beauty by Ava, the channel.
Isn't it weird how everyone had usernames?
Yeah. I always hated that mine was that because it was like so basic. Everyone was like beauty by whoever, whatever.
Mac Baby 11.
What was your first video?
I think my first video is like a drugstore makeup haul.
Iconic.
Oh, that's good.
Iconic.
That's good.
Yeah, like a Walmart makeup. I would go like apeshit crazy for makeup in like Target or
Oh, yeah.
wherever.
Everything.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, the good old days. Anyways, so from there, I mean, the brand kind of that I'm building now, I guess, I
Yeah.
changed it to Ava Jules. I was like, all right, I don't know how to do a cut crease. I don't know how to do anything makeup.
Yeah.
We had that same moment.
No one did.
No, yeah.
I don't think any beauty guru that started off like, you know, we're all like lifestyle now.
Oh, yeah.
So I found that side and was doing vlogs, and I don't think it was until maybe I was in high school that I started to gain more of like a following.
Yeah.
Just because high school content, as
Oh my
both of you
God.
know,
Yes.
is so popular. So that's kind of when I started gaining traction, which was maybe when I was 15 or 16.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So you were
Yeah.
in school though. Would kids come up to you at school and say things?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like in middle school when I was doing like the Justin Bieber shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
oh my God,
no.
people were so mean. But
Well, they were searching it.
yeah.
They were the ones.
Yeah,
They
why
were
are
the
you
ones
looking it
looking
up?
up Bieber collections, and then you were there, and then they were jealous.
Wait, I know her.
You've got a
I'm gonna
point.
bully her now.
Like, how would you find it? Show me your watch history. Okay, let's talk about skin. I have always had extremely oily skin. Well, to be honest, in high school, guys, my skin was oily, like really, really bad. It has gotten better as I've gotten older, but I've noticed that keeping my skin moisturized is the number one thing that has helped with keeping my oily skin at bay. And let me tell you, that is one of the biggest misconceptions about having oily skin is a lot of people think they don't need to moisturize their skin when in reality, your skin's actually overcompensating. So it's producing more and more oils because your skin is so dry. Honestly, having moisturized skin helps with so many other things, not even just oily skin. Whether your skin is dry, it even helps minimize pores, just having refreshed skin. It's so important for everyone's skincare routine. So insert Neutrogena. If you guys haven't tried Neutrogena's Hydro Boost Gel Cream and Night Press Serum, they're actually clinically proven to intensely hydrate and lock in hydration for 48 hours. Neutrogena is the #1 hyaluronic acid facial moisturizer brand. If you guys don't know, hyaluronic acid has an ability to bind to water and hold it within the skin surface, which works to keep skin feeling super hydrated. I actually really love the feeling of the gel cream. It's this I can't even explain the texture of it. It feels like all of the moisture is just being absorbed into your skin right away. I really love it. And of course, a plus for me is the fact that my skin is less oily. And that is something I've actually gotten a lot of compliments on my skin lately. And I can't tell you how amazing that feels. It is such a confidence booster. And it really does all start with the products that you're using. Again, it's oil-free, suitable for all skin types, non-greasy, non-comedogenic, dye-free, and alcohol-free. Learn more at Neutrogena.com/hydroboost.
And somehow we're here. I don't know. I mean, I feel like a lot of my brand is living in Hawaii, which is amazing. And I feel like that's what a lot of people subscribe to me for, which is amazing. I feel like, Hawaii is such a big part of my life and I grew up there. So it is a big part of me. And I think it can be good and bad just because I worry about one day moving out, maybe moving to a different state. And I'm like,
if that'll ruin everything.
Right.
Or,
because it is a part of my brand. I don't know. I think people enjoy the content a lot right now. And I think they would grow with me wherever I do decide to go. But right now I'm kind of just cruising there and I don't really have plans to move out.
Also,
which
you
is
don't
weird.
have to. I think there was an era where, especially in our community, you had to be in LA. That's what you do. We feel so lucky. We grew up in Southern California, so we still are around our families and stuff. But now you don't have to. You didn't even have to then, but I think there was just more pressure to. And now I think, people are loving seeing people in Texas or Pennsylvania or wherever, and people want to just see real. And obviously LA can be a lot and it can be super toxic, but I also think it doesn't mean you have to,
For me too, I know both of you grew up in California, so it's okay, it makes sense because you have family and you have a home base. I had a phase when I was maybe 17 or 18 and I was I have to move here. The phase that every influencer who's starting to kind of grow and get into
watching
the
people
industry.
at the Grove and doing all the things.
God,
I know the Grove.
I went yesterday for the first time in years and I was like, whoa.
That was the thing. O2L days. Do you remember where they'd be there every week? And I was watching from college thinking I had to move out here too. And it was I had no choice but to do so.
Right. For me, it's I have such a close relationship with my family that now I'm I don't think I could live here just because it's not I have super close family here or close friends that I don't think I could find a home here. But back then I was one of my YouTube friends and we were going to move here.
Yes.
We had a whole game plan. I had this Google Doc to convince my parents because that's what I had to do, right?
Always.
At 18, whatever.
Yes.
Why I need to move to LA. The first reason, I need to go to meetings with my manager in person. I have to. You can take those meetings on a phone.
But I can only understand or try to empathize with when you see other people's vlogs where they're like, oh, I just met with my manager, blah, 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 and you feel left out. You're like, oh my God, I'm not getting as much as I can out of this. You know?
I felt I'm not going to be a legit YouTuber until I can establish myself there. And I think the second reason was I'm going to do collabs, which will help grow my channel. I've done 2 collabs in my life and I've been on YouTube for 7 years. Bitch, you were not going to do any collabs. It's just funny. I was so convinced that I needed to be here to thrive. But I honestly think I just would have rotted here because I have no one.
Did you give the presentation to your parents? Did you actually do it? What did they say?
So my sister kind of set the tone of not doing the traditional college route because she moved to New York and became a dancer. So
oh my God,
it wasn't, super cool. It wasn't too much of a shock to them to not have traditional college route, but for sure they were a little nervous about it. But they were supportive, which is good. But looking back, we're all it just would have been a really bad decision.
To be honest, I don't think you would have liked it, especially then. And it's so funny because when you're 18, you feel like you're so old. You're like, I'm an adult now. It doesn't matter. But I'm sure now looking back, you're like, oh, I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah, I think especially the headspace I was in at that time too, I would have you know, maybe fallen into like the wrong things or done
Yeah.
things that I wouldn't do, where
Yeah.
I feel like now I kind of am more mature in the way that I'm not gonna, you know, just do something because someone else is doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think back then it would have been a different story.
Oh,
So
completely.
I'm glad, because who knows where I would have ended up.
Visiting LA is so different than living here.
Oh yeah, completely. Everything kind of becomes more mundane when you're living here. It's just like your everyday
You
life,
get
obviously.
very excited when plans are canceled. Or you're like us. And you're like, yes, I can sleep in tomorrow or whatever.
I feel like even me being here for 2 weeks, I'm like, that's enough for me to get my fix, do a few business related things. But other than that, I don't have like the star eyes.
The
wanting to
novelty
move
wears
here.
off. It's not as like bright and shiny as when you're just here for a little bit of
Yeah.
time.
I mean, especially growing up in Hawaii, it's like,
Yeah,
how
talk
do
about
I
the difference.
leave?
I'm sure you've been told that your whole life of how like lucky you are, or
Yeah.
how amazing it is. Same way that when we go visit for vacation, it's different from living there. But how's the difference? Like, what was it like your first time coming to LA? Was it with influencer stuff?
I think the first time I really came here for a business thing, I came with my dad.
Oh my God,
Which
yes,
was
as you should, because we
that's
don't
so
let people take advantage of us.
Yeah, which he's the best person ever. So I wasn't like embarrassed about that, where I feel like, you know, some people be like, "Ugh, I can't go with my parents." But we came for this like Sephora collection event, and I was so starstruck by all the influencers I saw. I'm like, other than you two, was there. And
Oh my God. Wait, was this for the lipsticks?
yes.
Oh my God, I was there too.
Whoa.
I was there. I remember it was like lavish. There were like
Yeah.
there was like art set up and things, right? Like really
Wait, that's
interactive.
crazy
Yeah, that's
that
so
you were
crazy.
there. I literally had like 50K, so I felt so out of place. Everyone looked freaking amazing, so I don't know, like decked out in whatever outfit I had on, like a $10 like
No,
dress.
it's so weird, right?
It is weird because now I feel like I wouldn't care. I'd literally show up in like jeans and a shirt and
Yes.
be confident.
Yeah.
But back then I was like, who am I?
It's so weird when you work so hard and you're so proud of your 50K at the time, and you're like, oh my God, like I'm hot shit, like this is crazy, like I'm doing so good. And then you go to an event like that and you feel so out of place, so just like 50K is nothing because all these people have millions. But yeah, I can just feel like such imposter syndrome, and it's so discouraging when it shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like comparing yourself to other people is so horrible, but it's hard not to in those settings.
Especially being so young. I mean, it's
Yes.
different because you're doing it in your bedroom, so you feel like the biggest star because you're
Yes.
just by yourself.
Yes.
And you don't really realize that there's like other people that exist outside of your
Yeah.
own like little bubble, right? But then going to that event, it was, I don't know if demoralizing is the right word, but maybe it is. I just was like, oh my God, I'm not cut out for this. I'm not what everyone else looks like. Or
Wow.
you know, it was definitely weird coming here, especially from Hawaii, where I think just like the culture is different in the way that I was like hardly dressed up. I didn't really know how to act or talk in a
Yeah.
certain way, I guess. There was a certain way I should have been.
Yeah.
Which
No,
obviously
no.
I didn't. But
Yeah.
That's how it felt being so young.
I'm
in that
sure, which I'm
setting.
so glad your dad came with you. There's so many influencers who I've come across who like their parents just like basically like let them come here so young, and it ended horribly. So I'm really glad that I feel like if anyone's listening and you're wanting to come here and you're young, like just bring someone.
It's good to have just because it can be a little sharky,
Also,
very sharky in this
I
industry.
think I got lucky, even though one of the first contracts I signed, I was 16 and had no idea what I was signing. It was a 2-year contract with an automatic 2-year renewal that I had no idea about, which luckily like it worked out fine. But contracts and lawyers, and this is such a business, and it's so terrifying when you're that young and you have no idea.
Oh yeah.
Right. YouTube was definitely still more like established.
Yeah.
Back then, but it wasn't common knowledge. I feel like even viewers know
Yeah.
so many of the ins and outs of our
Even
business
brand
now.
deals.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
like, okay, yeah.
But now they
Back
recognize
then-
that it is a business.
Right, but back then you don't really know anything. You don't really have anyone to
Oh, of
talk to about
course.
it. So that was the only, I guess, sucky part of living so removed.
Yeah.
is that I just felt really separated from the industry, and
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't really know that much. Luckily, I didn't get screwed over because I totally could have.
Yes.
You know, being so trusting and not really knowing
Yeah.
any of the
Just
industry
bright eyes,
things.
yeah.
I just got lucky.
After that Sephora event, did you go home and were you thinking like, I'm not going to make videos anymore?
Actually, no.
Good.
In a way, going back, I still feel like this to this day. Whenever I come here or travel anywhere, I have on my, I guess, like business pants.
Yeah.
And I'm like
Good.
ready to go. And however I was feeling then, I go back home and I'm in my little bubble.
Yeah.
Which is nice to kind of go back and reset. I feel very grounded being there.
I'm
So
sure.
maybe if I had lived here at the time and I felt like that, I might have stopped just because I didn't feel worthy of like going to things like that, or maybe I didn't think I would have grown. But living in Hawaii, I feel like it's just been the best thing for me, being
At the time when you were trying to move out here and you were giving the presentation to your parents, did you have as much love for Hawaii like that you do now, or did it just kind of grow as the years went on?
Well, obviously I've always appreciated it, but I don't think I really understood how blessed I was until a few years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe after I finished high school and I got to travel more, I was like, oh my God, this place is so special.
Yeah.
And oh my God, there's just nothing like it. I mean, from the culture and just the people there, obviously I have all my family and friends there.
Yeah.
It's just so amazing. I just don't think I really appreciated it back then. 'Cause
Yeah.
when you're in high school, you know,
I mean,
you're caught up in so many other things.
Oh yeah, you don't appreciate. I feel like even like TK, she didn't even realize how much she loved her hometown till she came here. But I think that maybe had you moved to LA, you would have never had that appreciation grow for you.
Yeah.
And now it's your full brand, and you know it's grown to be like everything that you live and breathe. So it's great that you stayed there and were able to grow that.
I'm very happy about it.
Good. I feel like you are such a natural at sharing body confidence and just body positivity and confidence in general with your audience. Like it's just who you are and what you share. And I feel like it's so admirable also. I even saw what you posted about your Shake Shack the other day.
Yes.
Like, did you see that post?
No.
That she posted? It's just a story of her burger. And she was like, I was craving this today. My body wanted it. I wanted to get it. I feel like in this world, there's a lot of, you know, in Instagram, people are posting like their salads and like this and that. And like, I think it's cool to share that I am normal and I eat a burger. And
Literally, me yesterday, I was craving pasta, and I'm never craving pasta, but I was craving
Did you
it.
eat the pasta?
Yeah.
you got the pasta.
I got
As you
the
should.
pasta, and I did not feel guilty about it, like, which is good. And I totally agree with that messaging because there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, food guilt is hard. It's just worsened from the internet, I feel like, because you see all things green and leafy on like the story because it is cute.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I get
The
it.
colors.
But I mean, even I've gotten caught up in it. I'll literally take a picture of someone else's salad and be like, pretty. But then like people think I'm eating it. Ugh.
I feel like you never think about the narrative that it's spinning when you do something like that because you just think it's
Right.
cute.
Well, and even thinking back to like 2015, 2016, the amount of like ice cream pics I would take almost as more of a prop versus like I'm actually currently eating this and I want to share that. I can only imagine how that would also hurt people thinking like, oh, well, if she's eating this, da 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 da. And then in my head, I'm like, oh, I bought this 3 scoop thing just for a photo and then I threw it away, which is horrible. Like, that's very interesting.
I think you're just very good at being open and vulnerable and just sharing about that kind of stuff. Does it come easily for you or do you struggle with sharing?
It definitely didn't come to me to even speak about it till I think it must have been right when the pandemic started because, you
Really?
know, I think everyone in the world's content shifted.
Yeah.
Like in the YouTube world shifted because, you know, you can't do these fun travel vlogs or the content you normally make. So I really had to sit down with myself and be like, okay, what am I going to talk about that's actually meaningful, especially when, you know, we're all at home feeling not our best.
Yeah.
And the messaging that really spoke to me was speaking about body confidence and self-love. And that just came naturally to me, mostly because it's something I've struggled with.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to speak on something that you haven't really experienced. And for me, I think something that I've been going through for a while that the internet didn't know because the internet doesn't know what you don't tell it.
And they would never
Totally.
guess.
Right.
Like,
you would never
yeah.
guess people go through the things that they do because they simply don't show you. I don't know. It was just so important to me to do that because I have a young audience. And I mean, people of all ages go through like body dysmorphia, not really feeling themselves and feeling confident in who they are. And that can just worsen your life. Like when
Oh
you
my
don't
God,
feel
yeah.
good about yourself, you just don't feel good about anything. Literally nothing matters. Like no one cares about your body as much as you do, which is crazy because you think everyone's always like nitpicking
Yes.
you. But you're just your own worst enemy. Literally, the mirror can be so deceiving. What you see isn't always like real. I thought about everyone being at home and I wanted to spread like a positive message that wasn't my normal content at the time, which was
Yeah.
all happy and not one dimensional, but I feel like there wasn't always like a deeper meaning
Yeah.
to it.
Like you felt like there was
substance
more you
to
could
it.
add.
Yeah.
Once I kind of started going down the path of doing like body confidence Q&As, I feel like it definitely started becoming more natural to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's so hard. Even opening up to like a personal friend
Yeah.
is hard.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, so opening up to the internet is very scary because you obviously don't want people to know that you feel shitty about yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
And you don't want it to come across the wrong way and you don't want to offend someone, but you're also like trying to tiptoe and you're like, shoot, I'm just trying to talk normal
Yeah.
and you want it to be real. So I have a random question. Do you understand why you're successful?
wow. Wait, why did that was a crazy question, Alicia Marie. Do I
Do you see why it happened? Does part of you understand how you stand out in this space?
now I do. Probably only because people have told me.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that, yeah.
But I don't think prior to people telling me, I kind of knew. I was just like floating around, like whatever. But do I know why I'm successful?
when people tell you, is it hard for you to understand, or are you just kind of like, oh yeah, that makes sense? You just kind of run with it?
I think it is hard to understand.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, there's no way I have that much of like an impact to be successful in that way. I mean, when I first like started gaining following on social media, it was because of my high school vlogs, which were fun, but didn't have that much like substance.
Yeah.
You know, they were just fun, random videos. But now, I mean, even just having like viewers come up and be like, you literally changed my perspective on how I view my body. I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
oh my God, why didn't I start talking about this sooner? I could have helped. I could have helped myself more. I wish I like opened up, because I think now I'm at the point where I'm not home free on like the whole body confidence thing. You know, it's a constant.
it's gonna,
always
right. You'll never be home
It's
free.
never ending. But I think I've definitely come out of the worst part of it. I wish I'd opened up about it sooner.
Yeah.
But I do understand why people feel so connected to those messages,
Yeah.
because I think everyone needs to hear it.
I fully see it, and that's why I know you do.
I know, I do too.
That's why I'm like, I hope you see it, because I see how you, of course, like impact all your viewers and stuff, but you just, I don't know, you're so different. And I think that's what's so special about you and why people feel connected to you. Like they truly feel like not judged by you. They don't feel like they can't live up to your standards, or like you're not trying to be you, they're trying to be your friend. Like they just love you, and it's
You're not intimidating.
You're not
either.
like this intimidating LA girl. And I think that's what's so special about you. And I know you even mentioned about kind of being nervous if you ever like move away or something. And I truly feel like people won't care because you'll still be you. You know what I mean? Like I think you are like, I
Even
just
though like
see it.
Hawaii
Wow.
is your brand, your brand is you. So you
Yeah.
could literally be anywhere in the world,
Yeah.
and people are gonna watch. We're gonna watch. Even back to the depths of quarantine, when I was feeling really bad about myself, bad about my body, and I'd go online and like all these big fitness companies were doing like, join us Instagram live workout and all these things, and I would try, and I would just feel so bad about myself. I'd watch a vlog that you would post with you or your sister doing workouts together, and that's the feeling that I needed, the motivation that I needed. I was like, oh, it can be fun. I don't need to feel shitty about myself and feel like, oh, I can't fit into my clothes anymore or any of these things. Like you were just making it so happy, but I could tell that it was just you and you're just living your life and just filming yourself and posting it.
Sometimes I don't realize there's like a message in what I'm saying. There was like a closet clean out I did.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, these shorts will not go past my ass. They're not budging. And all the comments were like, this changed my perspective on like fitting my clothes. And I was like, you
being
never
you.
realize
Yeah.
what you're saying, how that it can like impact people.
And I think as creators, that's what's interesting, because you think you have to give this TED talk of something powerful or meaningful. But in reality, like you doing a grocery haul is inspiring because it's you, or you cleaning out your closet and making that comment, as genuine as that is to you, like that's also inspiring. And I think that's what's so cool. So I understand why you're like, what? I don't get it. I'm just being me.
That's why you're successful, because
Yes.
you're just being you.
Yes.
Okay,
1000%.
You guys saying that to me? Wow, thank you. Once again, I'm a very big fan. Okay, on a side note, there was this quote. I just thought I'd
Love
share it.
quotes. Me every episode. There's this quote.
Oh my God.
Scroll, scroll,
Here I
scroll,
am.
scroll,
I've got
scroll.
one for you. Kind of related to the whole clothes fitting thing. It was, clothes are made to fit you. You're not made to fit clothes. And I was like, oh my God, I wish I knew this sooner.
Yes.
Like, I used to feel so bad. I used to be like a size whatever, and I went up like a few sizes over the past few years. One, because obviously I'm like,
You're a woman.
I'm a woman.
Yes.
I'm turning into a woman.
Yes.
Thank God. Finally. And it was always like such a bummer for me to, go up a size.
Yeah, you felt like it was a negative thing.
Yeah, but it's not.
When in
Like,
reality, it's
clothes should fit you. Like they're made to fit you. You don't have to fit into your clothes.
It's also interesting the power we give to that size or that letter of what it means.
it literally means nothing.
Also, have you gone to Zara and tried on one size of jeans in all different styles? Like,
And they're different.
oh yes,
Yeah.
Like all jeans, all clothes are completely made differently. Like a medium across the board is not always going to be the exact size of like their measurements of a medium, large, whatever size it is.
It was just much a more common issue than I thought, especially when I was going through it really badly, maybe in like high school. I was like, no one's going to understand. So I didn't really open up about it.
Yeah.
When in reality, I think so many
Everyone
people
Every
understands.
single
go
person,
through it.
every person.
It's like, oh my God, like why don't we just like make it normal and talk
Yes.
about it and like accept each other?
Oh my God, I hate that it took me so long, because you're younger than me, so I'm so grateful that you figured that out sooner. It took me, honestly, up until a few years ago to realize, you know what? I want to feel my best, so if something's tight on me, I should get the bigger size, and I'll feel better about myself because I can breathe. You know what I mean? It's more flattering, I can breathe, it's way better, it's more comfortable, versus feeling bad about myself, being like, oh my God, like, what the hell? That alone, like, all of that was said in your one sentence of, I can't get these jeans up my ass. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much more meaning behind that because you, one, being willing to share that with the world, two, laughing at it, realizing that it didn't have a whole, there's so many layers to that. So I can see why people are like, whoa.
I think even now I've kind of shifted my perspective on it, because originally when I don't even want to say became like a body positive influencer, but like I have come to the realization lately that it doesn't always have to be positive. There's a term, it's called body neutrality.
I've never heard of it.
But it's kind of becoming more quote unquote popular now, just because it's like, okay, maybe body positivity can be toxic in the way that if you're not feeling 100% sexy as hell, like, then you're gonna hate yourself. Like, you can be neutral about it.
There's downs.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be super high up.
It's okay to be like, oh, like, I'm not feeling the hottest right now.
It's just a thought, and your thoughts aren't always like reality.
I feel like I'm so happy with what's happened just in the past few years with all of that, and I love how much you're talking to your audience about that, because they are a lot younger, and I mean, high school's hard enough, let alone struggling with self-confidence. But anyways, I would love to hear about your dating life.
I wish I was on the podcast 3 years ago when I didn't have a boyfriend. It'd be so much more fun to talk about.
Me. I'm so boring now.
Okay, little plug to your We Don't Need a Man merch. Okay, I've been in a relationship for 2.5 years. You still don't need a man. Yes. Even if you're in a relationship, like, it's not just for single people.
No.
Literally, like, you can be independent whether you're in a relationship or not. I used to not realize that I could still be my own person.
How did you come to that realization? And then what tips do you have for people who are in a relationship and they're struggling finding that independence, but they don't want to break up, you know?
Ooh, I mean, I think for me, I didn't really realize it until maybe like a year in. I was like, I'm still my own person. We don't need to do all these things together. And I've seen so many friends like go through relationships where they're my other half. Like, no, you're not half a person. You're still a whole person.
Yep.
And I think it can be hard to realize, especially when the whole world is your relationship. I think it's important to still put yourself first, even if you're in a relationship with someone. I think you can do your own things, be your own person. Like, that doesn't have to be your whole identity. And I don't think it should be, because nothing is guaranteed. And I say that even like to myself. I'm like, you never know what's going to happen, where relationships are going to go. If you can be secure with yourself, it's like not going to matter what happens with those relationships, friendships, or like relationships.
Yeah.
So for the first year when you were with Connor, then were you really codependent? And then you were like, oh wait, this is too much, I need to switch it up?
Yes. Sometimes we talk about it and we're like, how did we hang out every day from literally the afternoon till 2 a.m? I'd have to beg my mom, please let him stay.
Oh, I love
and now I'm like, get out of my house. It's 9 p.m. After my skincare routine. Thank you.
Did you do my skincare?
It just like switched up though. On like after a year, you're just like, oh wait, I don't want to do this anymore.
You know what? I think it was funny because when we first started dating, he asked me out, and 2 days later I left for Coachella. So I think that really set a good foundation of being like, I'm still gonna do my own thing without you.
Yes.
Which
I do think it's important to set those standards kind of in the beginning on both ends.
If you don't have things outside of your relationship that make you happy, if the relationship ends, you're like, you feel like
you're
piece
nothing.
of shit and you're nothing.
You have nothing.
Because you don't like know yourself anymore.
It's also hard. I've only had one serious breakup, but I remember at the end it felt like, what do I have to show for this? Like, for 4 years of my life now, I'm like, who am I? Like, it's hard, you know, which breakups are hard enough, but I think that adds a whole other level when all of your interests become their interests, which how can it not? You love them. You want to be with them 24/7. Like, I understand that. It's not a bad thing to want to hang out with your significant other in any way, shape, or form. But I think the breakups do get a lot harder when you have that personal breakdown of who am I?
Yeah. I think
that sounds really fucking awful. I mean, I've had it too, but I just like, I feel a little traumatized when I'm hearing that right now. It just, it
is scary. It's like worth it when it works out. I don't know. I think the putting all your eggs in one basket thing, like put the eggs in your basket, bitch. Like, do things for yourself. Like, work on yourself.
Put that on a shirt.
Even if you're in a relationship, whether you're in a relationship or not, like what I do to kind of
like what are some tangible
I do things alone so much. I love my alone time, even though sure it would be like maybe more fun if Connor was there or like a friend was there. I think you find so much more about yourself when you're alone doing your own thing, because when you're around other people, you know, you take on their like characteristics and
which is inevitable.
You morph into the person essentially who you hang out with.
The way we've even morphed into each other with like little sayings or things, I'm like, that was Remy coming out of me. Like, it's normal, it's fine.
Which is not bad.
No.
I don't know. I think alone time is so important.
It's necessary. It really is. So you've been in a relationship for quite some time now, and I feel like you do a really good job at being private and also still being public and sharing with your viewers. How did you find that like happy medium? For me personally, I feel like I always overshare, and then I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. And I have to like reel it back in, or I have to stop showing someone
You're
as
like,
much.
they know we're fighting.
Luckily, I've been good about not doing that. I keep it somewhat private. People fucking love Cal. Literally, I've never had a bad comment about Cal. No one go comment anything now. But like people, it's been good. We're like, you know, I show the great times, but also, God forbid we were to break up one day, people I hope also know that as great of a person he is. Like, it's a normal
you've
relationship.
also done a really good job, though. You show him, but he's also not like taking over the camera and like.
Never,
Thank you so much.
Like like obviously,
He's the star of the show.
When they start vlogging.
Yeah.
For me. One time I was like, oh, maybe he can vlog for me while I'm doing this. I was like, no, bitch.
You were like,
there's no
what?
cal cam happening on the vlog today.
Cal cam. Yeah.
But how did you find like the happy medium? Because you're so cute when you guys do your like vlogs when you're on your little staycation, vacation things, and you show him when you guys are like out and about, but then it always cuts back to just you being alone, which I think is really good. How did you find that?
I think because in my personal life, I value that I'm still me without him. It kind of carried into like my business life, I guess, just because I never wanted my content to be like just
Couples
couple
channel.
or,
Yeah.
I don't know, even just I'm not an overshare even with like close people. So doing that would have been unnatural on camera, but I went through my crazy phase in high school and like I'd be going through a fight with a boy I was talking to.
Yeah.
But the internet didn't know about him.
Yeah.
But if they did, maybe I would have said something because I was a little crazy, but now I'm like a little more mature.
You were
I
just
would
going through
never post
puberty.
about a fight. Like, hello, I would like tweet some shady things. The Twitter's deleted. Don't go look for
Would
it.
you
But, like,
subtweet so
Ava
hard?
Porter,
I would
so-
subtweeting one day.
but I was like 16, you know,
Yeah.
like, that's
It's inevitable.
expected. But I think now I'm more mature to be like, okay, you're obviously a part of my life, but you're not my whole life.
Wow.
And I don't know where that came from.
So
No,
much
that's
for being
so
20
insightful.
years old.
I literally was thinking, I was like, damn, I can never say I'm immature because she's mature and she's
It's
way younger than
20
me. And I'm like,
years old.
fuck.
It's crazy.
Also, it's been so long since I've actually been in a relationship, but I really do feel like the best thing for the relationship is to have your own personal time because that'll help the relationship
Oh,
be
it so
better
does.
by taking time off and having those boundaries.
Yeah, I mean, if you only do things together, it's like, so how much can you do with someone,
I would
you
get
know?
so annoyed.
Yeah,
honestly.
like you can
Love him, but
yeah,
still.
you can coexist with someone, but you don't have to spend the entirety of like your existence.
Like you want to
with
miss them.
Right,
Yeah.
dude, missing someone is so important. That's why as much as long distance relationships suck, I feel like in a way they're kind of beneficial because you get to
That
do
time
your
that
own
you
thing.
spend
Yeah.
together
Yeah,
is
so much
set
better.
aside just for the person. Yeah, I agree. I don't think I could do it, but I totally agree.
Thank God I'm not doing it, but
Yeah, but
I think it's good.
pros and cons. So how do you decide what to keep private and what to share with the public?
For me, I have to set a boundary of like, okay, there's some moments that don't need to be shared.